Darius Bit here. You already know what we're chatting about, so let's get into it. I shoot everything in slow motion. It's gonna do two things for you. One, it really helps to smooth out all your handheld shots. It's gonna look like you used a gimbal when you didn't. Gotcha. Two, it just looks dope. I use a really wide angle lens, like super wide. It helps to mask the camera shake. I use the 10 to 18 millimeter Canon zoom. It also has a lens stabilization feature built in. It's my favorite lens. Just super wide angle goodness. I'm using it right now, actually. Here's an example. This is all handheld, no post stabilization. I try and mix up my shots. I use a wide angle, I use a 50 millimeter, I use macro lenses. The 50 is great for shots like close-ups on faces or objects like the headlights on a car. I usually shoot things at eye level or lower. I just think it looks better, and sometimes I go crazy low. Just looks epic. Cinebars are not mandatory, but they do make everything just look so sexy. I don't always use them, but if you plan to use letterboxes to give your film that anamorphic look, you should adjust your framing with that in mind. You can find them for free online, just do a Google search. I try to incorporate as much movement as possible. Pans, tilts, push-ins, pull-outs, twists. Just keep the camera moving. Color grading is essential. You can really make those colors pop. Now don't do anything too heavy or it's gonna call attention to itself, but you know, keep it simple, keep it subtle. I'll do multiple takes of the same action from different angles if I have time. I'll do 3 or 4 different shots of the same action. Sometimes the angle you thought would look good may not work in the edit, so it's good to have options. I always try to create a simple narrative or a loose premise you can follow along with. I find if you don't do this, your shots can become redundant. I wish I could tell you that there was some sort of like magic formula to making compelling cinematic sequences, but there is no magic like formula other than practice. When I first started making like little cinematics and things, I would practice by making sequences out of the most ordinary things. If I went on a stroll with a family member or something, I'd break out a camera and make a sequence out of it. You get the idea. If you can learn to make the most ordinary things look cinematic, you're pretty much golden. I will also leave links to the camera and the lenses that I used for that video. I also do video chat sessions. If you just got a camera and all this camera stuff seems confusing to you, schedule a session with me and let's talk about it. I will leave a link down below where you can get more info on that. Thank you for watching. If you dig it, please like, subscribe, and keep hustling. Deep it up.
They would make a total of 6 stops on this traverse, collecting samples from large rocks